Okay. I've managed to calm myself down a little bit. Okay, right now. So, the news is betrayed the uniform tax write-off. Yeah, big. Nice one. Oh, I haven't got Twitch. Hang on. I'm too big. My image is too big. We've cut off chat. There we go. Uh-oh, let's sort this out first. Oh, God, I've screwed my whole layout out. Never mind. Ah! Professionalism. Let's put me there. There we go. That's nice enough. Okay, so... we didn't come here for a calm down hell. No, I will be angry. I am actually fucking pissed right now. I am completely furious for a variety of reasons. So let's go for the bit that for the people that don't know that are watching this back on the VOD or on YouTube. Star Trek Prodigy just got cancelled. Yeah, like not just like, oh, we'll just finish things out and wrap it up in a nice little blow. No, gone, completely gone. Fuck you. Gone, completely gone. Will be gone in a couple of days on Paramount Plus. Well, let me show you the article. Hang on, let me go here. Oops, let's go there. Right, so yes, so from trekmovie.com, good news site. Star Trek Prodigy has been cancelled. The global backstream has cancelled Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. Oh no, after a single season, reversed its decision on season 2 pickup. Reversed its decision on a season 2 pickup for the animated and kids show Star Trek Prodigy. Okay. And acts blah blah blah. Additionally, all 4 shows will be removed from Paramount Plus as a conglomerate joins Disney and Warner Brothers in taking tax write-offs for underperforming series. Okay, so let's break that down. First off, Prodigy's been cancelled. That's already bad news. Maybe if it came to about season 2 or 3 and they said, okay, we're not going to make more, would have been a bit of a like, oh, that's a shame, but okay, fine. This is worse in every single fucking way, because then they're just taking it off Paramount Plus. It's gone, it's in the bin. In a couple of days' time, or whenever it was, I don't know when the actual time it's going to be, they're just going to remove from the streaming service. Gone, completely gone. Like, okay, I'm very well aware that we're in a world now that, yeah, things chop and change. You're like, I've, lived through the Netflix days where shows came on, shows came off, been on Netflix and other thing trackers so you can see what's coming on and going off. And that's the kind of era my headphones just went weird. There we go. That's the kind of era that we live in these days, and unless you buy physical media where you can actually own your content in so much ways as you can own it, you kind of take that for granted, which is not great, but that is the world we're in, and this is kind of what people are fighting against with the writer's strike right now, that kind of insolubility of media. But this is worse in so many levels, because they're not even saying like, oh, it's going to be here, because they're not even saying, hey, season 2 is coming out and then we're just going to not make any more, which would have been like, oh crap, because we interviewed Aaron Moltke and we interviewed Bonnie Gordon as well, and we sort of like said like, oh well, we can't wait for season 3, and they kind of, well, Aaron sort of went, oh yeah, okay, which we expected him not to say a single thing, but this is awful. This feels awful for anyone that just got into it, because the word of mouth is still going around. Okay, so the word of mouth, good shows that maybe don't get the mainstream light, that are cult hits. Well, let's talk about Firefly. Let's talk about maybe Stargate at the time a little bit has definitely picked up. Deep Space Nine is a prime example of a show that everyone dismissed at first, didn't watch it, and a lot of people that have come back to watch it suddenly really enjoy it. And this is definitely on that par, if not anything. This is like Star Trek Prodigy Season 1 is absolutely excellent, but this isn't really about the quality of the season, although, yes, it was excellent. So word of mouth goes around, and generally shows pick up. You give a show more than a season to get its feet together. Look at TNG. Look, we have been watching TNG and DS9 and Voyager. Those early seasons are not the best, and yet they stuck with them. But then the days of the 90s were a little bit different. Syndication was more a thing. Star Trek was a bigger brand name, and definitely Gene Roddenberry was better at putting in like, we're going to make a lot of series, here's a load of money, I'm Gene Roddenberry, fuck you, in those days. So they didn't even give it a chance, and this is the way they've done this is equally shitty. And the main line there is taking tax write-offs for underperforming series. And let's break that down, because this may have been an underperforming series. I don't know the metrics of Star Trek Prodigy. I imagine that, you know, I see the sense in making it. So you want to appeal to all styles of, all demographics, all styles of people, and you want to get it out there into the world, into the, you know, into the child's market. Hence this collaboration with Nickelodeon and Star Trek to bring science and such into children's lives. And I sat and watched it with my son, and he enjoyed it. So much to the point that we still do need to finish watching it, but I've heard other stories of other kids really watching it. A lot of adults, myself, watched it, really love it because it didn't talk down to children. It gave us a nice piece of entertainment in a... Excuse me, I had to have an emergency beer when I heard the news, so it's repeating on me now. And yeah, no time to develop. Yeah, and that may have hit the demographics, but several things that are wrong with this here. One, it's an animated show, which for the style of animation probably is a lot cheaper than their live action shows, and something that can run, you know, there is a reason there are like 60 billion seasons of The Simpsons, 20 seasons of Family Guy, 18 seasons of Bob's Burgers or whatever. Even the animated shows, the Clone Wars keeps going on, even the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, into Star Wars Visions, oh not Visions, sorry, what was the other one, Tales of the Jedi and things like that. Once you've got the established technology behind it, it is relatively cheap to produce with just the few signs. And I mean, Kate Mulgrew is probably not cheap, but they have to replace Kate Mulgrew, they have to replace it. And, you know, there is, you know, a world in which Star Trek Prodigy could have gone on forever and ever and ever, especially doing what the Clone Wars did, which transitioning more into the adult market and adding more canon and lore to Star Trek, which is what it was potentially going to do. And I'm going to spoil a few things here for Prodigy. It's not a huge spoiler. It's a little bit of a, oh, look there, things you wouldn't notice until after the show, but they introduced the Voyager A at the end of season 1, like, and didn't actually see the ship, but you saw a hint of the shuttle with the registration on it, knowing that, you know, in Star Trek Picard season 3, the Voyager B would be about, and it's a bit like, you know, Admiral Janeway taking off these kids to be wards and do some more exploration and try and find Chakotay, expanding that storyline. It was, you know, and it's tying back into Star Trek canon, which was an amazing thing, as well as having its own amazing stories. So why, not just why did they cancel it? Not just why did they say, like, okay, this isn't working out, we'll do our, you know, the sensible move if they wanted to do, just to cut their costs like they did with Discovery, which is also something we spoke about a few months back, and saying, like, okay, season 5, final season, we're going to announce it, there it is, we'll produce it, done, gone, back for everyone get around back for reshoots, we'll finish it and off it goes. No. They just went, it's not going to be on Paramount Plus anymore, it's going to be gone. And we're not going to air season 2. There's not going to be season 2 of Star Trek Prodigy on Paramount Plus at all. Gone. Totally gone. You're not going to be able to see it on Paramount Plus. The showrunners, the Hageman brothers and Aaron Moltke, are going to have to run out and try and find another distributor. And having a Star Trek show that isn't on Paramount Plus really throws me. Or that isn't under Paramount, that is being released, say, on ABC or I don't know American networks, like, or Netflix maybe, you know, would be real weird considering how much they've tried to focus on having all of Star Trek in one place. Like, that has been their Paramount, hey pun, that has been their main thing for 2022 and 2023. It's like, we have this service, Paramount Plus, we're going to put it all on here. And all of a sudden they go, except for that show, fuck that show. That can go. We don't like it. How much does it cost to keep 20 episodes of a 20-minute kids series on your services? Like, it's not even about licenses at this point, because the license should already be covered under Paramount. Now, there is the Nickelodeon side of things, but the way they're saying is this is going to be a tax write-off, which says to me that this is part of the season 2 production. Like, season 2 is, from what I've heard, is pretty much done, aside from maybe some last minute production stuff. Like, all the voice work's done. They are getting on the way of, like, finalizing animation and things like that. From what Aaron was telling us, like, we are well in the way of finalizing production. And a tweet from the Hagemans said, sorry, I can't find it right now, but it was a tweet to say, like, yeah, it's pretty much done, we just need to shop it around, like, it's there. It costs nothing except they don't get money, except they get money back if they don't air it. But it's just weird. It's really weird. Like, how does that work in a world of, like, fandoms? Because what is stopping them from then suddenly going, oh, you know what, actually, sorry, Michelle Yeoh, we've produced all this Section 31 stuff, but we're not going to show it. And, you know, their tentpole series right now is Strange New World. Picard's finished. Legacy is a big maybe. Probably not, well, looking at this, unlikely, but who knows? Fan demand is there. The fan demand for Legacy is up there with the, you know, the poll that went out to the community saying, like, do you want this series? Eclipsed the one for Strange New Worlds, like, by a long margin. Star Trek Picard Season 3 is one of their top-rated shows, being up for Emmys right now. You have your flagship show on the air right now, which is getting very good praise and has been continually. So why nerf your fan base like this? Why have people, like, for kids that want to watch it, go, like, I like this, is there more? And you go, oh my God, yes, there is. There is so much more. There is so much more you can watch. And yeah, but yeah, again, like, the other part of this is, so physically, so you think like, okay, well, I'll just buy it physically. Only the first 10 episodes are available physically. The first 10. There are 20 episodes. You cannot get the second half. I don't think, and let me just do a quick Google. Star Trek Prodigy Volume 2 DVD. Let's have a look. I could be wrong here. There doesn't look like... No release date. Nothing about a Volume 2. So, as of a few days' time, there will be some of the best Star Trek I've ever watched. Literally, not lying here. Some absolutely stellar Star Trek is now just not going to be available. Everywhere. Anywhere at all. For you to watch. And it's... What are they doing? Like, even as a tax write-off, this is not a huge thing for them to suddenly go like, we need a few things. Like, a few other things got cancelled, and I don't know about their fan bases. There were probably, you know, equally annoyed people on there as well. But for something like Star Trek, which has, you know, a long history of... you know, a long history of having a huge established fan base, to be one of your tentpole series, to have this show be cancelled when it has the potential to be one of their best. You know, it's on the poise of winning a Saturn Award. This is not a show that is going under the radar anywhere, and they're suddenly just kind of going like, no. And Booty says, like, they're overextending themselves trying to realign to the best received property. You're probably right. You know, that is probably true, but this is not the way you do it. Like, that's what they did with Discovery. Essentially, they went like, okay, we've had 5, you know, we're going to have 5 seasons of Discovery. It's time to cut that off and move on to other things. We need the money. Like, Kurtzman has said, like, you know, we don't have the money to make every single Star Trek series we want to. Like, we'd love to make Legacy, but we need to, you know, we can only have so many shows out there. And, you know, what can you do about that? That's ridiculous. Which is fine. It's understandable. There is only so much money in people's pockets. That makes sense. And also, if you overwhelm people with too many series at once, people are going to phase out. But the clever thing was, which I thought was really clever of Kurtzman, was to have different shows in different markets. You had Stranger Worlds and Discovery for the traditional Star Trek fan. You had Picard for the season 3 anyway, for the legacy Star Trek fan. You had Lower Decks for the people that loved a bit of comedy, and you had Prodigy for the newer audiences. And Kaiser says, well, if you cancel Prodigy, you better cancel Star Trek because you've given up on winning any new audience. And you're not entirely wrong there. This is, yeah, in theory, season 1 and 2 is also for legacy fans. Yeah, you're not wrong either, but excuse me. And it just makes me so pissed off. And it's not, yeah, again, like, the cancelling isn't really the bit that pisses me off so much. It is just the fact of, like, we're just going to cut it and get rid of it. No attempt to even say their fans and say, like, you know, no announcement to say, like, oh, you've got like 2 days to watch it and it's gone. Like, it's completely heartless. And I think that's the thing that gets to me. Like, this is something that I know a few people myself that I've had to message and say, like, you better watch this. I know you really like it, and I know you've been putting it off because you think, oh, kids show, but, like, yes, you're right, but also watch it because it's really good. And I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, oh, I meant to give this a chance, but I was waiting to give it some time, and yeah, now you can't. And Buta's never watched any of it. Like, that's fair enough. I'm not saying to anyone, like, they'll enjoy it, like, but if you can push through the first half, like, or not even the first half, even the first, like, 2 or 3 episodes, you will get onto some absolutely stellar Star Trek. Like, the episode with the Enterpriseians, I'm just going to spoil it here because, like, it's not spoilers. These are literally just episode summaries. Like, the Prodigy kids find a planet where a shuttle from the TOS era has crashed, and it's full of a culture that has read the logs of an ensign there and has assumed their society about these logs, and they're called Enterprisians, and they kind of do like fake Vulcan salutes, and they kind of get this kind of mixed up impression of what the Federation is, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant episode. It's a top tier episode. There's an episode where Janeway, the Admiral Janeway, and Dal, the sort of lead plucky protagonist who you can see on my shoulder here, mind swap, and you get Kate Mulgrew playing like a kid, and it's like literally one of Kate Mulgrew's best episodes. It's amazing. It's really fun, and that's the thing. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. There's a little bit of mystery. The Kobayashi Maru episode was with all the holograms of the voices of Spock, and you had like Rene Auberjournet's voice in there. You had Gates McFadden coming in to do new vocal lines as well. It's better than Kate Columbo. Let's see. I haven't finished Kate Columbo. It might peak, but yeah, absolutely. But this is outrageous. So let's go here. So like obviously season 2 is still happening, just not on Paramount Plus. So that is being shopped around. He'll complete post-production of Prodigy, and producer CBS will shop both seasons to a new buyer. But if that's not, my chat just reset. If that's not Paramount Plus, like who are CBS working for? I just assumed that anything Star Trek went on Paramount Plus. Like who would take it? Netflix would probably be the wise choice. Maybe Amazon. Maybe. I imagine Jeff Bezos saved The Expanse. So would he save Star Trek in this occasion? But yeah, we got some tweets from writers and things like that. A tweet from Terry Matalas saying, heart goes out and hope the protostar finds a new home soon. But what does this mean for like other Star Trek properties to come? Was there other stuff I wanted to show? No, just that. No. And then this is something that Name has sent me of like the current, the top things on Paramount Plus at the moment for 2023 so far is like South Park and SpongeBob SquarePants, like, which is completely understandable. And Star Trek's a little bit further down, Discovery being there, Strange New Worlds there, Picard down here. But I think these are sort of slightly old estimates. I believe Picard is going to be a lot higher. However, like. So what does this mean for like the future of Star Trek? We already had this discussion after if any series thinks they can't be next, they're delusional, and a little bit like that, because they're going to cut a whole series just for a tax write-off. And this is probably related to the writer strike as well. So the writer strike, which is, I believe, still going on, demanding better residuals for writers who are not getting it for streaming, who are not getting it for various contract changes when things go from like film or TV to direct to streaming. And obviously they want better pay conditions for what they have, which is understandable. Those are the backbone. And obviously the emerging technology of AI writing, which is a genuine threat. Without a doubt, there are definitely a lot of executives out there looking at AI, typing in like, write me a storyline for X and X, and getting a pretty good result, if not slightly homogenous. It is definitely an impact. And yeah, so Strange New Worlds I think is definitely going to be the tentpole. I think we'll be fine with Strange New Worlds, but I hope Lower Decks doesn't get the cut. I could see them doing it, because we're going to get season 4 soon. I mean, I imagine it's like, and I don't think it's even a cost outlay at the start, because they're cheap to produce. Like, this is, again, like I said, this is why there have been 20 million seasons of Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, everything else. This is why they go on and make films, because they're easy to watch, people love them, and they're funny. But with Paramount and Star Trek, who the fuck knows? I've never known. Well, maybe I have, but I mean, this has been an absolute colossal mismanagement, this series. And this is not a Kurt. Sorry, my headphones went weird there. It's not a Kurtzman dig. I really do appreciate everything that Kurtzman has done for this series. Like, people might have their disagreements with his writing, absolutely so. He is not a great writer, but he is an absolutely fine showrunner. Like, we have had an absolute glory age of Star Trek for the last 5 years, for 6 years now. We've had Star Trek Discovery. Okay, people are mixed on it, fine, up and down, whatever. Your opinions may vary. Mine are positive, I know others are negative. I'm not going to take that away from them. We've had Discovery, we've had Picard. Again, we've had the culmination of Picard season 3, which was pretty damn good. We've had Strange New Worlds, we've had Lower Decks, we've had Prodigy, we're going to have Section 31 coming on, we've had a lot of classic stuff, we've had a real renewed love of Star Trek coming through these last 6 years. And it has been because of Kurtzman, because he got the key, after he was the writer on, one of the writers on the Kelvinverse films, and the story is that, he's sitting in an office and someone went, do you want Star Trek? No one else seems to want it. And he kind of just went, yeah, sure. Yeah, this is absolutely, Kari, you said, this is absolutely not on Kurtzman. So this is kind of what I want to jump the lead in, because there's going to be plenty of people out there just be like, like they do, because they do. And it's a little bit unfounded and fine. But yeah, this suits way above. This is Paramount. This is above CBS. This is Paramount cost cutting, because cost cutting in the worst way. There was no reason they had to take Prodigy off completely. No reason at all to take it off the service, even if it's a licensing thing. Like, they probably would have had the licenses to keep it on there under the Star Trek license or the Nickelodeon one, but I'm pretty sure with like SpongeBob SquarePants being still on the service that it's not a Nickelodeon thing, because I imagine they would probably have a blanket deal. No lawyer, no expert, but I would imagine they would have a blanket deal of these things. But to just remove it and then say, like, no, we're not interested in watching season 2, which has pretty much been finished already. Like, why? Why in the God's hell to do it? And what does this mean for the future of Star Trek? It's not looking good. That's all I'm saying. The ideal situation right now is, okay, we've got seasons, so yeah, this is the thing. Season 3 of Strange New Worlds is being produced right now. Well, actually, no, it's on hold, but once the writer's strike is concluded, hopefully concluded amicably, will it get the cut? Are we entering a new 2005? Is this going to be the conclusion of, we get season 3 of Strange New Worlds and they kind of go like, we can't afford it, and they're going to have to shop it around, if any. And to be fair, I think that might be good for them to be shopped around, to go somewhere other than Paramount, because they have not done the best for advertising and promotion for anything Star Trek related. It has been god awful. We had a trip. We went to try and go to a Star Trek convention in London last year. A few of us from the channel here, Cranky and myself and Seven and a few others. And it was we had a great time, except the fact the Star Trek convention got cancelled, probably for similar reasons. So we ended up, just dicking about. But we went into the Forbidden Planet shop. And let's take the fact that Star Trek has been going since 1969, excuse me for the exact date, but it's definitely been in the public consciousness since the late 60s. You would expect them, and with the legacy that it has, you go into Forbidden Planet and you've got Star Wars, Dragon Ball, fucking everything, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and a tiny little section for Star Trek. Because even though there are like millions of us out there, loads of Star Trek fans, they just do not put the money into the merchandising. Throw your head back to last year's Star Trek Day, when we had the incredibly awkward and terrible presentation with, not on their fault, Paul F. Tomlinson and Tawny Newsom hosted it. They did the best of their abilities. Honestly, they were great. The whole production around it was holy shit crap. And I come from someone that has run live productions in a similar manner. I always joke, like in my days, like when I was in the theatre, darling, but I did exactly that kind of stuff, arranged and produced live productions, and being from like a stage management background, that was absolutely god awful. Whoever arranged that should not be working in that industry anymore. But you went to their like promotion area and their products, and they went like, oh, here's some stuff you can buy, and I'm like, really, this is what you've got? Like, we're starting to get some traction on that with like the I forget the name of the toy company that are doing Playmates. Is it Playmates? They're starting to bring back. But yes, so Big says, like, what does it mean for the future streaming? It will predicate on the idea that subscribing to the service mean you get access to properties in perpetuity. But now this shows is always subject to change at no notice for baffling reasons, and that kind of has been the case ever since like the Netflix sort of era came about. I believe there were a lot of things that Netflix made and then just cut because they went, nah, the first season not done very well, fuck it, cut it. And it's really ruthless and it's horrible, and especially for people that get into stuff. They stopped marketing events in that style since that event. They did, Cairo, they really did, to the point where this year's First Contact Day was devoid of any announcement, but around it we had an announcement of Strange New Worlds Season 3, we had an announcement of Prodigy Season 2. And we had announcements of other things, Section 31, but not on the day. The day they could have got Will Wheaton out there like they do. Great move. Brilliant. Get Will Wheaton out there and do a stream with him and Mika Burton like they've done before and go, wow, we got all these announcements like they did originally with Strange New Worlds cast. They say, right, we've got interviews with so-and-so, and then we got this big bit of news, trailer. And now we got another announcement. And now this big bit of news, blah, 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 blah. And that was a great show to watch, but they've just not done it. And it's been such a travesty. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm exhausted now. I'm so pissed. I'm so annoyed. And just to recap, I'm not annoyed because they cancelled it. I'm annoyed by what they've done to cancel it. Like, if they do a perfect 2 seasons of Prodigy, I will cherish that. I want more, absolutely, because there's such a future for this cast. But so annoyed. So annoyed. I'm sorry, let me just scroll back on chat. I'm sorry, you guys have been talking while I've been ranting. Buta, where are we? So Buta says, Robert Beltran probably happy and go back to obscurity. Yeah. I realise it's the loss for taxes once the property is dead, but it's not forward thinking, is it? Like, forward thinking about getting new audience members, maybe? On a franchise that's well established? Oh dear. Tax expert Buta's, when business losses get held up somewhere, you can't realise them until you dispose of the assets. But that's such a horrible way of comparing art to finance, and it's really not nice. Failed to do any decent. Kari says failed to do any decent marketing for Prodigy, and they throw away half of what was already produced. Yep, they do. They literally are throwing it away because who's going to pick up? Like, there are people out there who are not going to see the second half of Prodigy. They have the DVDs in their hand, or the Blu-rays. You can put them in drives and go, wow, I wonder what's going to happen when, Captain Janeway turns up on the Dauntless. And wow, she's going to chase them out. And it's going to be like, nope, you're not going to see that. Not at all. Might be looking to sell. They are looking to sell. No. It looks like Paramount's revenue is in the 7 to 8 billion per quarter, and the net income was steadily declining for a while now. Last quarter, they went negative. Their stock price is an all-time low. They probably have to shake things up to become profitable. Absolutely. And I can see this. I can see them selling Star Trek. Absolutely. I believe I saw a report very much earlier that, who was it? Paramount. Am I thinking about the same thing here? No, hang on. Where was that? Paramount was looking to sell or merge with someone. I forget now. Let me try and find that report. Nope. No. Sorry. I may have dreamt this. Let me just Google Paramount Yellowstone sequel. Maybe I dreamt that. I must have dreamt that. In my head, my brain was like, they're gonna do something bad. Paramount. Paramount. It has been well established that Paramount Plus is not doing well, and that is, kind of understandable. They have such a niche market of stuff like Star Trek and Yellowstone are their 2 big things, and repeats of South Park and SpongeBob SquarePants and The Rookie, maybe. Bad Bloods, Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jacket is probably their other big one at the moment. Could Paramount please sell Star Wars to Disney? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I trust Disney to do well with Star Trek. Disney have already worked with Kurtzman before. Have they worked with Kurtzman before? Did he have anything to do with Star Wars? I don't know if he did. That might have just been Abrams. But I don't know. Do we want Jadzia Dax being a Disney princess? I mean, yeah, kind of. But also, no. Disney is struggling as well. Yeah, everyone's struggling in the streaming age. They need to stop being dicks and try and carving out their own area. This is what happens when you have this bright future. Like, we came out of the very expensive DVD era, and Netflix went, we'll put I think Netflix was the first one, pretty much was, and it said, yeah, well, you can just come and stream whatever you want, and then everyone started to put all their stuff on Netflix and then Amazon and things like that, and so you just went, oh, brilliant. One thing I'm subscribed to, all TV, fantastic. Kind of like Spotify, or, the music scene has got this very much better, well organized. You sign up for YouTube, you sign up for Spotify, you sign up for, what are some of the other ones? I don't know, I use Spotify, Tidal, or Apple Music, for example, and you'll kind of get all the music. I don't think there are not many artists or labels that are pretty much exclusive to one or the other. There are a few diehards that don't do Spotify for whatever reason or another, but generally you sign up for one, you get them all. That's not the case in TV, and it's so bizarre. And they start carving themselves. You've got Peacock, you've got Paramount Plus, you've got Disney Plus, you've got Apple Plus. Sensing a theme here. You've got Amazon Prime, you've got all sorts of things. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they don't know how to get people to pay for things. No, they don't. Netflix in a way was a blessing and a curse, in that they showed that how they could get accessible TV for cheap, and they put a lot of money into it for a lot of loss. But splitting up all these tentpole series was not doing anyone any good, and everyone, just all the executives went, well, I want my piece of the pie. And it still all comes down to Prodigy being, you can even say like, oh well, it's a tax loss, but why remove it? Why get rid of it at all? Is it not under the Star Trek label? And this is worrying. This is worrying that we could get to the culmination of season 3 of Strange New Worlds, assuming it gets produced after the writer's strike. And they kind of go like, you know what, we're selling Star Trek. You're not going to get to watch it. Guaranteed. The good news there, I guarantee someone will want Star Trek. Absolutely, they will. Like, you cannot look at a series that has over 900 episodes, that has endless appeal, that has conventions every year with celebrities and everyone coming out and saying how much big fans, that has been an absolute influential force for scientific and television innovation for nearly, 70 odd years, 75 years or so. Who wouldn't want that? Paramount don't fucking want it. Clearly they don't fucking want it. Why would they? Netflix should be the one to buy it. Oh, maybe it was Netflix and Paramount. Maybe, I don't know, did I dream that? I'm sure I read something about Paramount wanting to merge with someone. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of like Ubisoft or something. Torrents, yes. There is always the high seas. That is the option that people have had to go through. Like, the reason I used to download back in the early 2000s, I used to download a lot of music. Everyone's famous from the Napster days, the LimeWire days. I don't anymore. I have Spotify. Everything I have is on Spotify. Brilliant. I just get that. I listen to what I want. A few things get removed here or there, and I go and track them down on Bandcamp or whatever. And there's a few more options. That was the rumor. Netflix wanted to buy Paramount. I'm glad I'm not going mad there. Yeah, that might be the saving grace. But yeah, it's not the same. They should give all the rights to Roddenberry Entertainment, but that will never happen. Yeah, I don't think Roddenberry Entertainment have the financial backing to make Star Trek series, unfortunately. Yeah, I think they're doing some great stuff for the stuff around the edges, for the archival things. If they want to put up the Star Trek archive where you just get, would you pay? Look, here's the thing, because this is essentially what Paramount Plus is for a lot of Star Trek fans. It is, you are paying your, I don't know how much it is, $7.7 to $9.99 a month, $12.99 a month, wherever you're from, for Star Trek. A lot of people are. That's what you're doing. You're doing that. You're getting your free month, making a new account, watching Star Trek and going, right, I'll wait for the next series, cancel. And that is the danger of it for companies in this situation, by having such an easy way out, which you should. You should always have that easy cancel button to, it's godsend just say, like, I'll have it for a month and I'll cancel, and, they'll give you all the guilty things, and, my shuttle to the beach is right. I'll see you later, Siete. Thank you for joining my angry rant. And, the best thing about being a consumer of digital media in this form is that it is very easy to cancel and manage your money very, very well, which is probably a legal requirement. Lord knows they've not done it of their own goodwill. I believe they were probably had to, because I'm sure there is a beer subscription company I used to be subscribed to, where the only way I could cancel was to ring them up, and that felt so antiquated. That's terrible. Cara says, thing if they would own the full rights to all of Star Trek, they could make the money out of that, and they could use that to produce new stuff. Yeah, I think vastly there's a difference between how much money they would make from people signing up and rewatching to how much it takes to produce a show. It costs a lot to make something like Strange New Worlds. Like on the multiple millions, millions of pounds definitely per episode. It's a lot. It's more than you would make just by putting Star Trek episodes up and charging a monthly fee. Yeah, the effects are great. The cast is amazing. These are high-profile actors. Michelle Yeoh ain't cheap, not a chance. But if there was a way you could turn around to people and say this is worth it, and it has been worth it for everything. Like, it's been an inspiration at all times. But back to Prodigy, again, it's not an expensive show. It is not at all an expensive show. You've got a passionate writer. You know, we spoke to Aaron Waltke, and I've never met anyone more passionate in that position. You know, as a senior producer for a Star Trek series, you know, you always get the people that come out and say, oh yeah, I'm the producer, and yeah, I've been a Star Trek fan my whole life, I can do that, yeah, and things like that. And you go, okay, yeah, blah, 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 you're just talking because you do it, but thank you, you're here, you're a talented writer. But no, talking to Aaron Waltke, he was a genuine marvel to talk to, because he just knew the series. He knew all the in-jokes. He was so passionate about it. And the way he was talking about, like, producing the series, I just thought, holy man, I'd, like, keep this guy in Star Trek. Like, keep this guy in for life. Like, get him to produce one of the biggest series, because, you know, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's the kind of person that the fans want in charge. Like, he's someone with his head on straight, so he's not just going to produce an absolute massive piece of fan fiction, but also is a huge fan as well. So what a shame that it cannot be seen that these kind of things, these kind of investments make sense. Like, these you put the passion in at the start. You put the good writing. You put in, especially to something that has a dedicated fan base. Sorry, I'm swatting away a fly. Put in the dedicated fan base that Star Trek has, and you will get results. But you have to be patient, and there is no patience in this kind of thing anymore. Especially at the time, you know, obviously prices are increasing at the moment. Everyone's making cuts. Everything's going a little bit backwards at the moment. Writer strikes are making things harder. But this is no excuse. This is no excuse for saying, oh, it's a tax break, so therefore you can't watch any of Prodigy. You can't even watch the second half. You can't watch season 2. Fuck you. Nope, you're not going to watch it. These people that wanted to watch it were just catching up on all those hundreds of other shows because they're paying £25 a month on 16 different services that are trying to catch up with all the constant summation of television that's being thrown at them, and they wanted to catch up on Prodigy, you know, maybe in a year's time, because they thought, hey, it's fine on Paramount because they have all the home for Star Trek is apparently not the home for Star Trek anymore. No, it's a home for the Star Trek that makes them fucking money. sorry. Oh, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. No, this is a travesty. How long have I been ranting for? About 40 minutes. Okay. Business is the quest for more money. Yeah, I should have learned from Spaceballs. It really is. Yes, home for Star Trek, except we can't make sure all the movies are there, and we won't even show you one of the best shows we made for it. They need to be fair to us first. Yeah, it is sucks how much money gets involved. Like, like I said before, I can understand it if they said, like, okay, we need to, you know, that's essentially what they said with Prodigy, like, okay, we need to do a little bit of money saving, we can't run Discovery for 7 seasons, so we're going to cut it, finish season 5, God. On this occasion, they'll be like, okay, Prodigy's to end with season 2, and we'll keep it up, but we're not going to make any more, blah, 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 blah. Oh, red alarm, thank you, Irony Rit, for following, you know, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I forgot, I got distracted by the alert there. Yeah, we can't even say, like, oh, we're going to finish on season 2 and we're just going to cut it there and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll keep it on the service for you to watch, and we'll still make some money from people watching it and then discovering it, and the kids going like, oh, maybe I should give Voyager a chance because I really like that hologram Janeway character. She's cool. Like, she's really an assertive female figure in a land like today is absolutely something you need. And nope, it's just gone. Home for Star Trek. Ladies and gentlemen, Paramount, the home for Star Trek. Not anymore. Oh, I might play some games in a minute. Shall I rant some more? What else can we rant about? Does Paramount even have any tentpoles right now? Strange New Worlds is the tentpole. Absolutely. It is the tentpole we hope will remain steadfast to the show. Yes, thank you, Arnie. No, thank you for joining me. Yeah, Strange New Worlds is absolutely the one that's going to sit at the top and be, you know, that's the one they've promoted the heaviest. You know, you see the big posters up in London, Times Square, places like that of all the characters. You know, Celia Gooding's face staring at all the traffic. However, let's look at it. Writer strike is going on. Season 3 is currently not being filmed right now because of the writer strike. It is on hold, along with a lot of other shows and things like that. I'm surprised we haven't seen Top Gun, the animated series yet. Only if they do it in the Filmation manner, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd watch that. You can't create a stable tent with 1 or 2 tent poles. You need at least 3 or 4. Yeah, well, Star Trek does have about 7 or 8 tent poles. We do have some really good stuff out there. There are 900 episodes. Like, we were happy when 2005, not happy, but we were like, oh, it's been cancelled, but at least we have these 600 episodes of good stuff to watch, and we still do. We still all have the old Star Trek. But I'm not spelling doom and gloom just yet. Season 3 is on the horizon. Where we go after this is going to be turgid waters. Turgid, is that the right word? No, sort of rocky waters. No. Not everyone keeps their tent poles in the same place, Captain. Well, speak for yourself, and that's too much information for me, Big. Yeah, no, going forward, like let's look at going forward, because there's going to be more cuts. Like, Paramount are going down. There is a article on IndieWire I saw today. Let me just get the link up. I did save it. Oops. Let's get to me. Here we go, IndieWire. I'll pop it on chat. You can have a little read of that. Yeah, yes, stars. At this point, I'm wondering if Lower Decks and wondering if you might get the chop too. You might well be right. Where someone says they're estimating that Paramount has 2 years left at most. Paramount, a company that has been going since the dawn of cinema, pretty much. Like, I don't know when Paramount first came out. It was like the 50s, something like that, maybe even earlier. 100 years. 100 years! There we go. And this is how it's going to end? Maybe? And the funniest thing was on Reddit, and okay, controversy on Reddit, but whatever. On the comments of this, Paramount Plus, as we know, it has 2 years left at most, maybe. The top comment was, well, this is only relevant to me and how it impacts the Star Trek shows. Absolutely it. The few reasons, like, they couldn't even get Halo right. Foundation was okay. Foundation was Apple. No, that's okay. We can ignore that. Then people saying, I love Star Trek so much, I would subscribe to Peacock to watch it. Like, your fan base is there. People will go where Star Trek is. They sell Star Trek. It's gone. Like you say, Lower Decks could well get the chopping block. It sucks. I hate it. No, I don't hate Star Trek. I don't hate Lower Decks. I love Lower Decks. Absolutely love it. I hate that this is the conclusion that might happen. And I think they need to sell Star Trek. I think for the good of Star Trek, it needs to be sold, and it needs to go someone that wants it, because Paramount Plus do not want it, if this is how they're going to treat it. Hey, you never know. Like, look at how many people have been crying out for an animated Enterprise show. Look at the popularity of the Shuttle Pod podcast, like with Connor Trenier and Dominic Keating. Like, people at time will always come back for audio work. There's been multiple people have said, yeah, I'd come back and do that kind of stuff. Yeah. It was the best of times, the worst of times. No, we're not. Like, we've been through this. We've already been through this back in 2005. And I don't think we're there yet. We're not there yet. Time will tell as to what's going to happen with Star Trek coming on, because Stranger Worlds is still amazing. Like, it is still getting good reward. Picard Season 3 was an absolute barnbuster for ratings and for people ranting about it for probably, various reasons. It was entirely fueled by nostalgia. It was the Remember Berries, definitely. But, for the right reasons, maybe. Who knows? There's potential. There is still stories to be told. There are still avenues to explore. Who would you want Trek to go? Disney? Amazon? I don't know about Disney. I think they'll probably be in the best position to buy it, but I don't think anyone's buying anything at the moment. But I imagine Star Trek's not going to be expensive. Like, if Paramount's valued at about 10 billion, then Disney, that's probably chump change for a lot for Disney. But yeah, no, I don't know about Disney. Amazon, maybe. But they did cancel The Expanse, and I'm still pissed at them for that, because there's still 3 more books they need to adapt. And that was the thing. They bought The Expanse to save it, and then they cancelled it. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Why don't they just... No. Let's sell it to StarTrek.com now. I think, yeah, Picard did the collaboration. Well, yeah, they bought... Did they do a collaboration? I thought they just bought the license to show it. Oh, no, you might be right, actually. I think they did put a bit of money in for that and Discovery, I think. So maybe Amazon, maybe... just had it on the tip of my head. Maybe Netflix. Netflix could be a good, good incentive for people to sign back up for Netflix. Yeah, Discovery was Netflix. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Yeah, I could see one of them. The Trek Time Consortium, yeah. Anyway, TLDR, Prodigy cancelled. You're not going to be able to watch the second half after a couple of days, so if you've got Paramount Plus, go and watch it. You can't even buy it on DVD because there's only the first 10 episodes on DVD. It's gone. There's nowhere to go, so they're looking for people to buy it, even though it's supposed to be on Paramount, because Paramount Plus is the home. I'm going to hang on. I need to do this properly. Paramount Plus is the home of Star Trek. Not, you know. There you are. I think I'm going to play some games now. I'm going to play some games. This is originally what I was going to do tonight. I was going to come on today. You know what I fancy? I said to my wife, "Do you want to watch MasterChef tonight?" And she's like, I think I'm going to, just it's too hot and it's too nice. We'll go sit outside." And I was like, "Brilliant! I'll go do a stream. I'll go play some Marvel Snap and we'll just have a chilled out time and do things like that." And then they dropped the news on fucking Prodigy. No, I'm still angry. Apparently, I'm still pissed. Oh, I'm still so angry. Let's look at some latest tweets. Let's explore Twitter on the reactions to this, because there's a lot of reactions. Let me do this. Welcome to my Twitter. Here we go. Between removing shows from streaming service to the treatment of the WA writers, the constant story is how the system constantly destroys arts and artists' intentions. Clear that the future of good film and TV arts has come from outside Hollywood. Yes, it's the off-Broadway. Christina Chong playing... Oh, Christina Chong's got a new song out. You should listen to it. It's pretty good, actually. Where are we? What the hell is happening? Paramount Plus has cancelled, removing... does anyone know... I don't know anyone here watch Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, or The Game, or Queen of the Universe? I can't say I have. I don't know. I didn't even know there was a Grease thing out there. Prodigy introduced a whole new generation of Trekkies to this show. It's heartbreaking to see it go. All stories of families watching it together. It was the Trek that surprised me the most and knocked out of the park from the first episode on. Deeply sad. Star Trek tour devastated to hear us. Watch the first 2 episodes of Grease. Okay. Achtung. Devastated. Don't think it's accounting sleight of hand, but I'm betting if they did release the second half of the season, they wouldn't be able to write off as much because there would be ongoing proof that the show was generating revenue. Oh, Jared Rasher, that is... that's nasty. And you're probably not wrong. Yeah, this is the appropriate tweeting here. It was renewed for season 2 in November. Key to produce the property to the younger generation. The series will complete post-production season 2 Prodigy and produce CBS Studios will shop the season to a new buyer. Yeah, no, speak with your... The best way to speak your opinions is use something like, Twitter is a fucking dumpster fire at the most times, but it is a good way to get your message out. Cancel your Paramount Plus and put a message up saying, I cancel it because you cancelled Prodigy. Like, I'm not screaming, grab your pitchforks, but if you do feel outraged that you want to cancel your subscription, do it. So I'm letting a friend watch Strange New Worlds and encouraging them to watch Prodigy. Thank you. Poop pee indeed. Poop pee indeed. Prodigy is now the second half of his first season released on physical media. Yep. Moving it from Paramount Plus is cutting off a distinct part of the Star Trek's legacy from Trekkies. It is unacceptable, especially as the WGA writers are fighting for their rights. Well said, Jesse Gender. Industry is heartbreaking, sending love to everybody. Daisy Ridley preparing for Ray's gravity-defying leap. Yeah, we don't care. Under this tweet, no, don't know what that's about. More of that. Finish Resurgence. Yeah, I don't need spoilers on that. Tomorrow, Elite Force 2. We need to start playing that soon, actually. Prodigy has been reportedly been cancelled. Maybe this will be confirmed. No, this has been confirmed now. I think I've just accepted the world sucks and nothing really affects me anymore. You're like me when I was 14. Everything's shit. The world does suck, but there's also a lot of good out there. It's just a sucky time for now. Don't get it. What he says, right, we have been here... Sorry, this is from Irony Wit. We have been here before. I remember the very severely long drought after Enterprise when most Trekkies thought it was done for good. Yes, I was there. It was the long assumption that they might make a movie someday. Otherwise, a lot of people went full-on gangbusters with fanfic production and got several of the original actors to participate. I remember those days. Maybe it'll happen again. No, I remember the days of, new Star Trek Continues and that, what was it, Renegades with Walt Koenig in it? Including Shai, yes. One of our very good host, Shai Palm, has played Sulu in New Voyagers. Sorry, Shai. Yeah, it was New Voyagers, that's right. And yes, the books just went mad as well. Check my DMs. Let's have a look. What you sent me, Shai. Okay. This is sad. From Bonnie Gordon. My heart is breaking from my Star Trek Prodigy family, from the writers, creative team, and cast. We've all put so much love into the show. I'm hoping other streaming platforms will give the Protostar a new hope. Star Trek is about a new home. Star Trek is about hope, so let's continue to be hopeful. Thank you, Bonnie, for that. Well, I say thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. Only because we talked to her. Let's retweet that. But, yeah, what a fucking shitstorm. Star Trek community is in shock. Absolutely. Each show represents different genres and tells amazing stories. It's sad to see one not only cancelled but erased from streaming. Bring back Axanar. Axanar was conflicted. Probably was going to be very good, but there was some... What the fuck? I officially found the worst name for a bowling team. Uncured wieners. Okay. Well, this is what happened. This is what happening is... one of my engineers called it a shit show. Yeah, I'm going to have to steal that. That's very good. Fucking enact new season renewals for other shows and then dump this. Yeah, exactly. Anything's on the table. Lower Deck season 4 and 5. Yeah, well, exactly. Sean Toronjo, sorry. Yeah, we interviewed him. Like, everyone's coming out. Denise, oh no, not Denise Crosby on that one, but Terry Matalas. Yeah, breaking news, cancel, Trek Central, all the news is out there. Oops, go away. We're staying positive. So Dan and Kevin Hageman are the showrunners. We are staying positive and hopeful amazing fans will get to see it soon. Janeway would never get, but so why would we? Let's follow our orders and boldly go. Yeah, I really hope they do. Melissa Navia and so forth. Yeah. Anyway, we have said the inevitable. Let's try and calm down by playing a game that makes me very angry. Let's play some Marvel Snap. I need to chill out and calm down now. I'm going to post this rant because it's been about a 50-minute rant. A 50-minute rant on the... I'm going to post that as a clip on its own very soon to YouTube once I've done this stream, I think. Right, there we go. Okay, right, let's